Okay, in this video, I just want to give you some tips and tricks on vapor blasting really small parts. And I do this all the time because let's say I'm rebuilding carburetors or whatever, and I want to flush or clean the passages on like brass jets. Well, vapor blasting is excellent for that because it flows through, it cleans all that crap off the walls, especially that green crud. You know, it's hard to remove. And, you know, ultrasonic typically sometimes won't remove it, and then working it with steel wool is kind of a pain. So you just vapor blast it, man. You just need a way to hold it so you don't lose the part in the machine. Okay, so working on this little carburetor for this generator, we lost power the other day, and it was surging. So I know, with the choke halfway on, the surging went away. So I knew the carb was dirty, somewhat dirty, whatever. So anyway, I pulled out the pilot jet. This is the pilot jet for that carb, and it was completely plugged. If you don't have one of these, get a drill index drill bit 61 to 80. So that's numbered, and they are super tiny. You can see this roll right here. They have down to what is it? Let's see here. 13 and a half thousandths. Okay. And this works great for poking through the pilot jet because when they're plugged, it's impossible to, you almost have to poke it, okay? So you can put this in pliers and basically jam it through, okay? And I got it through, okay? And there was a bit of crud in there. Now, even though I poked it through, there is some residual crap that's in there, okay, that we need to get out. And I want to vapor blast this because that's probably the best way to mechanically remove this green film that you see on here. The ultrasonic won't take care of this. The soda blast will. Steel wool, yeah, that's great. But I want to make it flow through there, okay? So I don't want to lose this part. So one thing you can do is take, I got some Tusk safety wire here, and just snip a little bit off, okay? And then what I do is I just, this just happens to have a hole right here. So what I do is I just loop it, and then, I just do a little twist here. And so this will not fall through the grates of the vapor blaster. And I can hold it with my finger here in the gloves, and then I can just blast this, okay? So that takes care of any parts that have holes in it. But here I have the main jet to this guy, and I want to clean it. And the hole is not big enough for wire. So here's the ticket right here. These are hemostat scissors, pliers, or whatever, and they're used by doctors and nurses, and my wife is a nurse, and I happened to come across her work bag or whatever. I'm like, oh, dude, these would be awesome in the garage. So they have a little lock here, okay, and then you just kind of can undo it. So you can get these on Amazon for $5. I will put a link down in the description. Now, these teeth will kind of mess up the brass, okay? So I can see here, this surface is not important, and I see the numbers here on the jet. So I'm going to go across this way, and I will lock it, and the teeth will kind of jack it up, but that surface doesn't do anything. So here you go. So this will hold it hands-free. I can point the vapor blaster at here and blast right through here. It'll be squeaky clean, and this thing's gonna run like a champ. Okay, and then I can also do that to this emulsion tube. I want to make sure these are absolutely clean. And then I'll blast the bowl as well because there's a little film on here. This doesn't need much. And then this thing should be good to go. So hemostat pliers, safety wire, that'll do the trick. Okay, so real quick, let me talk about the machine and what would happen if you lost the part, okay? Back when my Harbor Freight cabinet was a dry blast cabinet, I would vapor blast jets, dry baking soda is what I used to blast with, and sometimes you lose the part. It flies out of your hand, and then it goes into the hopper, and that makes for a really bad day because you have to sift all the media to find that little part, okay? So it sucks, okay? Same thing with vapor blasting. However, the way I have my machine set up is, I got my funnel, and at the bottom, I have a strainer, just like in your kitchen sink, okay? It'll catch anything that falls down here. and it won't end up in the pit. Because, man, sifting through dry media is difficult enough, but, man, if it fell in there and, you know, the pump's churning everything up, man, I don't know if you'd ever find that part, or, you know, you'd spend freaking an hour trying to find that part, okay? So both in my Harbor Freight build and this build, I have a strainer, and it catches everything, okay? It'll catch a small part, okay? Now, consider a machine that has the hopper with the water, media, and pump loaded in there. If anything falls through that grate, man, you're in for a lot of work to find that, okay? So one thing you can do is probably just get window mesh screen, you know, get a non-metallic version and just lay it the width and maybe even up the side walls, and that way if it flies out of your hand, you know, it's not going to fall through, because, man, that would be not good. Okay, so just a few seconds vapor blasting this, and look at that. I mean, it is absolutely perfect, and the water and the slurry flows through, and you can see it blasting out of the side holes, and it just completely cleans it inside and out. And I haven't been able to see the inside of this, and now it's perfectly clean, and it looks great. This thing too. So it just takes a thin film of that junk, and it'll run leaner, and vapor blasting it through these holes just absolutely cleans the hell out of it. So I'll put this thing back together, and it's gonna run freaking great.